but a society of emotionally dependent individuals who need constant stimuli to avoid emptiness, who flee from any form of suffering. That society will be obedient. It will be manipulable. It will be the perfect society for those who want power without having to resort to force. And this is how the trap closes. What seems to be freedom, the ability to avoid all suffering, actually transforms into our prison. But there is a way out. To escape this cycle, we need to understand the difference between pleasure and purpose. Because while pleasure can enslave us, purpose can set us free. And that is exactly what we will explore in the next part. What are you really seeking in life? Happiness or meaning? Pleasure or purpose? The answer may seem obvious, but have you truly stopped to reflect on it? Modern society has trained us to believe that happiness is the ultimate goal. But what does it offer us as happiness? An endless sequence of fleeting pleasures, likes on social media, impulsive shopping, casual sex, binge-watching series, ultra-processed food that gives us a spike of pleasure and then leaves us empty. All of this keeps us momentarily satisfied, but never for long. And that is the key to the problem. Pleasure is always temporary. It needs to be constantly renewed, or the feeling of emptiness returns. Now, think about the most significant moments of your life. Those that truly shaped who you are. Were they moments of instant pleasure, or moments of challenge, effort, and overcoming? Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote in Man's Search for Meaning that human beings cannot live without purpose. He observed that even in the worst possible scenarios, those who found a greater meaning in their lives were the ones who managed to survive and maintain their sanity. And here lies the paradox. The pursuit of constant pleasure weakens us, while the pursuit of purpose strengthens us. Pleasure is easy, immediate, and addictive. Purpose, on the other hand, requires effort, discipline, and resilience. But unlike pleasure, purpose does not disappear once the effect wears off. It builds something within us. It gives us a reason to keep going. But modern society does not want you to seek purpose. Purposes take time to build. They require introspection, effort, and above all, resistance to suffering. And all of this goes against the logic of immediate consumption. An individual who finds purpose in life does not need constant distractions. They do not feel the need to fill every second of their day with superficial entertainment. They are not easily manipulated by false promises of instant happiness. And that is exactly why we are constantly bombarded with stimuli that divert us from this search. Because a person with purpose is a dangerous person for a system that thrives on our emotional dependence. So, if you feel that something is missing in your life, perhaps the answer is not more pleasure, but less. Perhaps the path is not to seek more distractions, but to eliminate the excess of them. And the question you need to ask yourself is, what truly moves you? What makes you get out of bed in the morning? Are you living off disposable pleasures, or are you building something that really matters? But how do you escape this trap? How do you break the cycle and regain autonomy over your own mind? That is what we will uncover in the next part. Now that you understand how the relentless pursuit of pleasure can keep you trapped, the most important question arises. How do you escape this trap? How do you regain control of your own mind in a world that does everything to keep you distracted, doped, and emotionally dependent? The first thing you need to understand is that this is not an easy fight. The system is designed for you to fail. It wants you to keep seeking quick pleasures, to keep feeding the algorithms with your attention, to keep consuming endlessly. But there is a way out. and it starts with your decision to become aware of the game being played against you. The first strategy to break this cycle is the strategic deprivation of pleasure. This does not mean you need to become an ascetic and reject any form of fun, but rather that you should learn to consciously regulate your exposure to addictive stimuli. The problem is not pleasure itself, but the fact that it is being used against you as a means of control. When you deprive yourself of certain pleasures for a period of time, such as social media, ultra-processed food, or compulsive entertainment consumption, something interesting happens. Your brain recalibrates. It begins to find satisfaction in the small things again, and the unrestrained desire for artificial stimuli starts to lose its strength. The second step is to rebuild your tolerance for discomfort. If you want to regain your autonomy, you need to relearn how to deal with boredom, frustration, and the lack of constant stimuli. This means allowing yourself to be silent, disconnecting from the flood of information, and simply existing without needing to fill every moment with some distraction. At first, this will be difficult. Your brain, accustomed to constant spikes of dopamine, will demand more. But if you resist, you will begin to notice something powerful. Discomfort does not kill you. In fact, it strengthens you. The third step is to cultivate critical thinking. Ask yourself, why do I feel this need to distract myself all the time? Who benefits from my addiction to pleasure? What could I be doing if I weren't trapped in this cycle of instant gratification? The more you question, the more you will realize that a large part of your habits and desires were not truly chosen by you. They were programmed by the system. But only those who ask themselves these questions can begin to rewrite their own destiny. The fourth step, and perhaps the most important, is to replace pleasure with purpose. As we discussed earlier, the search for meaning is the true antidote to the slavery of immediate pleasure. So ask yourself, what really matters to me? What do I want to build? How can I make my life more meaningful? These are difficult questions, but they are the only ones that truly matter. But there is a problem. Even if you start to break free from this cycle, the society around you will still be deeply immersed in it. And when you decide to change, something inevitable happens. People begin to see you differently. Some will admire you, others will reject you. Because when you free yourself, you also become a mirror reflecting what others do not want to see in themselves. And that is exactly what we will explore in the final part. If you've made it this far, something inside you has already begun to awaken. You've realized that the relentless pursuit of pleasure is not freedom, but rather a cycle of conditioning that keeps you trapped. You understand that modern society doesn't need to physically chain you to control you. It just needs to convince you to flee from any form of discomfort. But now that you see the trap, the most important question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The truth is that escaping this system requires more than just willpower. It means swimming against the current, rejecting the easiest path, and accepting that real freedom often comes with loneliness and resistance. Because when you stop distracting yourself, you begin to see. And when you see, you realize that many people around you are still blind. Some people will admire you for this. Others will reject you. Some will feel uncomfortable with your change because when you free yourself, you become a threat to their illusion. They will try to pull you back, convincing you that there's nothing wrong with this system, that life is meant to be enjoyed without much thought. But now you know the truth. Pleasure without purpose is just another form of slavery. So the choice is yours. You can continue living as before, distracting yourself, seeking the next dose of dopamine, ignoring the growing sense of emptiness inside you. Or you can decide to take back control of your mind, build a purpose, and become someone who is not easily manipulated. But I want to know, what will you choose? Have you ever felt trapped in this cycle? Have you noticed how society uses pleasure as a form of control? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts, because questioning is the first step to freedom. And if this video has made you see the world differently, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Here, we don't go with the flow. We question, reflect, and seek to understand the truths that no one wants you to see. If you want to continue this journey of self-discovery and liberation, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. See you in the next video.